Hi there, welcome to all our viewers. You're watching BNS and the Stock Game right here on ET Now, and I'm Betina Menon.
Hi everyone, I'm Avan Devash. First, let's run you through the rules as to how the stock game works in case it's the first time that you're tuning in. So we give a notional amount of 5 lakh rupees to 3 experts who join in all the way from Monday up until Friday. With this money, they're supposed to select 4 stocks and build a portfolio. Only one stock can be chosen from the F&O arena. After that, there are compulsory turns of 2 stocks every single day. And in case a stop loss is triggered or a target is achieved of any of their stocks, then they have to be replaced by the end of the session. And on Friday at 3:30 p.m. is when we announce the final winner of BNSN, the stock game. So for this week, we have our 3 experts with us. On the technical side, as always, we've got Rajat Bose of RajatKBose.com. Ashwini Gujral also joins in, and on the fundamental side, we've got with us Mr. VVLN Shastri. Yesterday, there was quite a bit of churning in their portfolios, so Devina's going to run you through their portfolios for day one.
Oh yes, it was an exciting day one, particularly to see how different portfolios panned out. Remember, at the start of the trading session, we spoke about individual stocks as well, but towards the end, this is how they finally stacked up. You've got Mr. Shastri's portfolio, and it had 4 stocks in it, one being Tata Steel, the other being a Godrej Industries. Idea Cellular was a buy call. Along with that, even a Titan Industries was a buy call from Mr. Shastri. Apart from that, pull up Ashwini Gujral's portfolio by the end. This is Mr. Shastri's portfolio, obviously a very long-only portfolio. Ashwini Gujral's portfolio, on the other hand, on the flip side, was mainly bent towards the bearish side, and you saw the markets collapse yesterday. Exide Industries hitting its target price. The HOEC June futures doing exceptionally well for them, losing out marginally on a TTK Prestige and a Coal India, but at the end of the trading session, Ashwini stood as a clear winner. And finally, on to Rajat Bose's portfolio. As on day one, he also had a long-only portfolio. He'd got an NIIT, a Reliance Infra, HPCL is what he had, and an LIC Housing Finance June futures. Most of them almost getting stopped out before we started off with the show. But today, a whole new day. Remember, you've got 4 more days to see who takes over whom. Right now, we've got all our 3 experts who are sitting here to highlight what they've got in their portfolio on day 2. So we'll start off with you, Mr. Shastri. On day 2, what are the churns that you've made?
Yeah, in fact, I have switched from Godrej and Tata Steel to Bharti Airtel and ONGC. As far as Bharti Airtel goes, I'm long on it, and ONGC goes, I sold it today as per yesterday's closing price. So these are all the 2 changes that have taken place. But besides that, the yesterday's 2 winners, like say Idea Cellular and Titan Industries, they continue to be there as a part of my portfolio. Though today there is slight amount of correction in these 2 stocks to an extent, but I think overall as a portfolio, I think things are okay.
Okay, so a replacement coming in the form of a Bharti Airtel and a short call on an ONGC. Ashwini, yesterday you went short on 3 of your stocks. Coal India was the only buy call. This seems like a strategy that you're adopting for day 2 as well?
Yeah, I'm always consistent. So, the market remains in a downtrend. Today you are seeing a bit of a rally, 53.20, 53.50, strong resistances. So the stocks are weak. They're just having these 1 or 2% type bounces. So we'll go with shorting Patel Engineering, stop 150, target 132. Delta Corp, sell with a stop of 97, target 80. BGR Energy, sell with a stop of 480, target 404. And Ashok Leyland Future, sell with a stop of 49, target 42.
All right, so a portfolio built with shorts. You've got Patel Engineering, Delta Corp, BGR Energy, as well as an Ashok Leyland June futures. So a very, very bearish connote there to his entire portfolio. Coming to you, Rajat, this time around again, you've adopted the strategy to go long on stocks. We're seeing a rebound in the market. Which are the new stocks that you've selected?
Yeah, I'm actually taking 4 trades. All of them are buys, and I'm basically thinking of a market rebound, and in case of a rebound, you would see some kind of traction in these stocks. But I believe 2 of the stocks that I have taken because of close stop losses, the stop has been triggered there. I've chosen Hindustan Unilever, Coal India, Kirloskar Brothers, and BPCL June futures. All of them are long calls, and I'm betting on a recovery at least to somewhere around say 53.25 kind of levels. and the stocks are going to go up. That's what I tend to think, because my basic premise is that after this kind of a fall, generally in the last 6 months, we have seen 3 times the market rebounded, and the amplitude of such nifty moves around those times had been 280 points to about 400 points, and with the humongous short position that is acting as an overhang, at any point in time there is a short covering rally, the market is likely to move up, and that was the basic rationale for me taking long positions all the way.
Okay, so there's different strategies for each of our experts, but only the calculators will give us a clearer reflection as to how things are panning out at this point in time. So let's start off with the calculator of Mr. VVL Shastri, who's had 2 churns in his portfolio, making good gains on 3 of his stocks, losing very marginally on a Titan Industries, which has been retained. So a loss of about 0.2% coming in from yesterday. About 1,230 rupees is what he's losing at this point in time. Ashwini Gujral, remember, it was a streak of green in yesterday's session, but today his short calls really aren't working in his favor, losing out on 3 of his investments, but all in all making a healthy gain from day one of close to 30,000 rupees. 6% is what he stands to gain. And finally, on to Rajat Bose, who has adopted a long-only portfolio for today as well, making gains on HUL and Coal India, but losing out marginally on Kirloskar as well as BPCL, which has been stopped out. 17,000 is what he's losing, seeing a loss of about 3.5% on the overall portfolio. Remember, calculated from day one. Let's now chat individual stocks and why our experts have picked it out, what's the rationale coming in on them. Mr. Shastri, let's firstly talk about an Idea Cellular, which you've retained from day one. You do have that news coming in right now that the CBI has given a clean chit to it on the back of those 6 licenses that it bagged in 2008, but not reflecting that sentiment on the stock price.
I think idea is like a tortoise which tends to move slowly and steadily, but gives a fair amount of returns, and that's historically the trend if you look at it. And the positive news triggers basically, as you said rightly, the clean chit from CBI. Secondly, the addition of subscriber base, particularly to the extent of almost 1.8 million in May month, is next to Bharti Airtel, makes Idea as one of the what you call emerging companies in the big league. So given that scenario and given the consistency in its top line and bottom line, makes me feel that this is a safe bet, particularly when the markets are under turmoil. So given that, I'm still buoyant about this, and I'll still stick to my target on Idea.
Alright, still sticking to his target on an Idea Cellular, which is a tad bit soft in today's session. But Ashwini, before I ask you your first stock, which is the Patel Engineering, in the last 7 days, Idea Cellular has made a move of about 9.5% to 10%. You think that this is probably coming towards the close of it, and you will see some bit of a U-turn from the top?
See, tops and bottoms are predicted by fools and idiots. So, the stock is going up, it's showing strength, it's crossed previous intermediate highs. So it's a strong stock, no reason for me to doubt it. I think it should touch levels of 92. It should find support on any kind of declines towards 73, 74. Overall, telecom seems to be behaving like FMCG. So this is another defensive that people have latched onto. So Bharti Idea should keep moving higher slowly.
Alright, Bharti and Idea should keep moving higher slowly. So in concurrence to what Mr. Shastri also said. Coming to your own stock, in a Patel Engineering, you've got a sell call on this one, Ashwini?
All these realty infra type stocks, they're in trouble because of rate hikes, etc. This had a weak rally from 130 right up to 165. Yesterday had a sharp decline. Chances are, pullbacks will be weak in such stocks, and it's likely to retest, its previous lows of 130, because the bounces that it's getting from 130 are getting shallower and shallower. So chances are that whenever the market resumes its decline, it should retest these levels of 130 and probably even go lower, maybe into double digit.
Alright, that's a sell call coming in on Patel Engineering with the target placed at 132. You can see the 7-day chart. It has been under quite a bit of pressure. From the FMCG pack, it's an HUL, which Rajat is bullish on. 326 is where it's at, pretty close to that target price of 329, Rajat.
Yeah, 326 for it sells 326 to about 326.50. itself is a resistance zone for HUL, and if it manages to cross that, then 329 it could reach, and HUL as such is looking pretty good, and in fact once it crosses 329, then it can move up further. And the point is that even from a fundamental angle, I think this company is doing pretty well now, and probably in such an uncertain scenario, this could make a good case for investments, at least those who are considering blue chip stocks. For the day, just as I said, it had got certain bullish momentum, and I was banking on a recovery. If the recovery happens, Hindustan Lever is likely to do well.
All right, banking on recovery there. Last 7 days has shown a good move of closer to 5% on an HUL. So overall, the defensive pack, as we know it, has been doing well so far, and so is an HUL. Coming to you, and the second stock in the portfolio, Mr. Shastri, you've retained a Titan Industries going by yesterday's performance as well. This one has really, performed well over the last few weeks as well, shown strong move on the upside. What's the rationale for choosing this one out on the fundamental side?
Yeah, as I told yesterday, the bonus that is 1:1, and also the stock split that is happening, like to say 10 for 1. So the record date is fast approaching, that is 24th, which is not far away. So I think in the run-up for the record date, definitely the stock should also further move up. Though there is some amount of profit booking today, but I still feel that towards the afternoon it may find some good recovery too. So there is good buying momentum there. So it gives me confidence that it has the potential to touch 4,800 levels by the time the record date starts. So still bullish on the part of Titan.
A thumbs up coming in on Titan, but it's a bit soft in today's session, down by just about 1.5%. 7-day charts also not very encouraging. Let's talk about a Delta Corp. Ashwini got hammered in yesterday's session, but it is spurting up today. Do you think that this is just a short covering rally and that the undertone for this stock does remain pretty bearish?
See, this is one of your consumption stories, low on substance, high on, noise. So, having outperformed for quite a bit, I think it should now, it's turned weak with a stop of 97. If you sell it, chances are you will get targets of 80, because these story stocks are usually the ones that fall hardest, and we are seeing that consumption is now kind of looking shaky, and this is also, I think, a 35-40 PE type stock. So all of those stocks tend to correct quite a bit. So this is, all of these rallies that you can see in these stocks are opportunities to go short.
All right, the Delta Corp there, last 7 days, a down move of about 1.3% is what we've seen. So 92.5 is where it's trading at. But over the last 1 month, still up by about 10.5%. Rajat Bose, and your second stock in the portfolio is a Coal India. Remember, yesterday we had Ashwini who liked this stock. Rajat, you're liking it today as well. But overall, what's the sense like? How much more can it go in terms of reaching the 400 mark on the upside and staying there?
See, I believe there is a good possibility that it can actually move up even further, and the target that I've given is about 407. And that kind of a target, Coal India, if it gets the momentum, it can manage it even in an hour's time. In the last session, if there is some kind of market momentum and some buying comes in, and if you ask me, medium term, its target, in my understanding and my studies, is about 475 to 510. So this stock continues to be a good stock, and I was expecting the buying momentum to be retained today. It's languishing, but chances are that it could actually show some late session recovery.
Okay, so that's a strong stock that Rajat is betting on in the long term, with strong upside targets, currently not even at that 400 mark, but Rajat places a target of about 407.5 on the counter. We'll take a quick break on that note, but here are why the experts have picked out stocks 3 and 4 and what their rationale is in just a bit.
Hi there, welcome back. You're watching BNS in the Stock Game right here on ET Now, and we're playing it this time around with Mr. VVL Shastri, Ashwini Gujral and Rajat Bose. You've heard their first two stocks and the reason why they've picked it out in their portfolios. Now's the time to take a look at the third and the fourth stock in each of their portfolios. Mr. Shastri, you're going big on the telecom space. We heard Ashwini also talking about Bharti and Idea being good bets in the telecom basket, and you've chosen a Bharti Airtel.
Yeah, in fact, if you look at the last quarter results of Bharti, it has shown a dip of almost 31.5% at the consolidated level in terms of net profits. But the good news is that the May month subscription levels, if you see, they are quite fabulous and ranks top among all the telecom companies to the extent of almost 2.45 million. Thus making Bharti have a subscriber base of about 167.1 million. This gives me a hope that this quarter is going to be quite good in the case of this company, and that too at this point of time, a clean company and which doesn't have any what you call parameters to link up in terms of either interest sensitivity or global market scenario or cues, whatever it is. So I feel it's a safe bet, and so I have switched my earlier stock of Tata Steel with this company, keeping in mind the gains within these 5 days.
All right, that's the call coming in on a Bharti Airtel. So Mr. Shastri is clearly extremely bullish and banking on the telecom space. 415 is the target with a stop loss coming in at 381. Let's talk about a BGR Energy Systems, which is showing strength in today's session, higher by 1%. It opened at a level of about 460. 462 is where it's currently placed at. But Ashwini, you've got a short sell call coming in.
Yeah, this rally is nothing. Yesterday it fell 6%. So, most stocks move in 3-day type moves. So if yesterday was a big down day, today you could find some consolidation in the initial part of the day, and in the afternoon it could decline again. This stock again, its intermediate high was about 513, which was quite a bit lower than these almost 600 odd levels that it reached earlier. So again, seems to be a weak stock and is likely to retest its 400, 415 type of low that it made in February. So this one is another short play.
All right, 400, 415 type of levels in the month of February. Could possibly see that on the downside, according to Ashwini. He's given a sell call on that one. The stock, however, higher by about 7/10%. Coming to you, Rajat, and you've got a Kirloskar Brothers in your portfolio. It's a sell call. It's a buy call, rather. I'm sorry, but your stop loss has been triggered, making a low of about 153 with your stop loss at about 155.
Yeah, actually now I would be talking about the 2 wickets that have fallen. I mean, irrespective of the fact that they have got stopped out, but if you look at Kirloskar Brothers, yesterday it had a good upswing up to 160. Normally that kind of upswing continues for the second day, but unfortunately it hasn't in today's session. Maybe in late session you might see again it moving up, but if you look at it from an investment point of view, then definitely this stock is showing bottoming out pattern. There is a base building at lower levels, and it is trying to move up. There are positive divergences on the oscillator chart, so that made me choose this stock. Maybe not very well suited for the game because it hasn't lived up to my expectation, but then for an investor or for a medium term trader, this is a good stock to own, and this target would be something like 200 to about 210.
All right, 200 to 210 is the kind of target that he anticipates, but stopped out on that counter. He's placed a stop loss at a level of about 155. Let's talk about the monoliths in the oil and gas space, ONGC, and that's one of the picks that Mr. Shastri has in his portfolio, coming in as a sell call. Very quiet in today's session, Mr. Shastri, but there is news on the positive side on this one.
Not so, because you need to look at holistically, because methane gas leak at Konaban is a negative trigger for the stock from the short term perspective. That apart, even if you look at the company's performance going forward, keeping in mind that it is giving $70.15 per barrel as the discount to the PSU oil companies and only making a net realization of $38.75 per barrel gives a clear indication that the company is going to post degrowing trend in the current quarter. So given that scenario, given the kind of differential pricing, given the kind of under recoveries, given the kind of global crude prices going down, because on parity basis the pricing is in turn going to be done by this company with the oil marketing companies, I feel this quarter is going to be bad. So given that scenario, I feel the stock should further go down, though it touched 52-week low yesterday. But today also it touched, but it should further go down. And there I feel short selling is the right way to go about it.
All right, further pressure could be expected on an ONGC according to Mr. Shastri, but tell you about the fundamental news that has been coming out. ONGC is looking to invest about $7.7 billion to develop its gas field in KG Basin. Also plans to drill about 8 wells to maximize output. They are looking for partners for deep exploration blocks as well. BG, ENI shown interest in partnering them as well. So the stock today, however, is higher by about 0.2%. Come to the next stock and the final stock in Ashwini's portfolio. Once again, a sell call coming in on Ashok Leyland futures. Ashwini.
Yeah, Ashok Leyland, clearly CVs get bothered with high rates, and this stock has formed a head and shoulders top, and if it can trade below 45, you should be able to get targets of at least 34 in the medium term, but short run target of 42 is always possible. On all rallies towards levels of 50, 51, this remains a sell.
Alright, a sell call coming in on an Ashok Leyland June futures. But let's talk about the last stock that comes in Rajat's portfolio. It's an F&O stock, BPCL June futures, but you're going long on this one, Rajat?
Yeah, I went long on this one, and unfortunately this wicket has also fallen. I mean, the two stocks that I betted on actually to make some recovery from yesterday's losses, they have let me down. And but if you look at, I perhaps maybe one among few who would still like to bet on oil marketing companies. I know that others are allergic and apathetic to them. But if you look at the chart of BPCL, it clearly shows that there is a possibility of a further upswing there, at least 650 once crossed, then BPCL can do well. And looking at it from a medium-term angle, I have a feeling that you would see it going up even further to something like 675 to 680. So this does make a case that you can actually buy into BPCL if the market recovers. That BPCL, HPCL would do well. Maybe they are not the main growth drivers in the index, but they would do well.
All right, so that's the call on BPCL getting stopped out for Rajat in today's session. HPCL is also lower by about 0.1%. But those were the first stocks in each of our three experts' portfolios. Let's quickly run you through the calculator plate and how they stack up in terms of gains or losses that they're making at this current point in time. We have good Mr. VVL and Shastri's portfolio. Idea Cellular doing well for him. Bharti Airtel picking up pace. The telecom as a basket working in his favor. But overall, still losing about 3,200 odd rupees. Coming to Ashwini Gujarat's portfolio, since day one, he's been making massive gains yesterday. Today, Delta Corp, BGR and Ashok not working in his favor, but still a gain of 6.5%. That is 32,500 rupees is what he is making till date. And coming to Rajat Bose's portfolio, Hindustan Unilever working in his favor, but a Coal India, Kirloskar Brothers, along with the BPCL June futures, so the last two getting stopped out, making a loss of about 17,600 odd rupees so far. On that note, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining in this leg of the stock game. We'll see you tomorrow, same time. Mr. Shastri, Ashwini, as well as Rajat Bose. Thank you very much.
Okay, but let's just remind our viewers once again, we will be taking up individual queries in the second half of the show. But here's how you can participate. Any questions that you may have with the kind of turn the markets have taken, I'm sure you have lots. So bnsn@etnow.tv, that's where you write into us. Feel free to send in an SMS as well to 58888 or just pick up the phone and dial 022-2483-7111 and talk to us live.